says give us at the same time. And
I don't know if I know you that well yet, big robot man. But...
Hello, you are listening to Skipping the Queue for Ultraman Arc episodes 8 through 11. My name is Red, I'm joined by Mel.
Hey everyone, I'm here to announce I'm launching my VTubing career to help fund my caffeine addiction.
Yeah.
In fact,
good luck with that.
Thank you. In fact, to commemorate you, I've even released a new single. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
Sticking out your cat for the noise.
No.
Mel just stole my opening bit. What do I do?
Okay, I'm so thrilled that your opening bit got stolen, so I don't have to hear that twice.
I just want to be your Kivas.
No. Only Bibu is allowed to be this cringe. Brad, also joined by Brad.
Yeah, hi, you know what? No, I can pivot. Hi, everyone. I'm your internet BF from a cursed land that is about to die. I just want a friend for a little bit.
Yeah. We can be your friend for a little bit, and then you'll die at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone, say goodbye to Brad. This is Brad's last podcast.
Yeah.
We'll be dying.
Next week, American Prometheus.
Yeah, finally. We've been looking to
He's been celebrating. I can hear him all the way in my apartment.
Oh, I bet he has been.
So yes, we watched 4 episodes of Ultraman Arc. I realize we're a little bit behind. Forgive us. We'll get there.
Yeah, I mean, we've been over this with the last episode.
Yeah.
I think the way the schedule is, if we do something around like the holiday season, depending on what our plans are, we'll be able to like be caught up for the finale.
Yeah, so we watched Internet Canagon, Goodbye Rin, To My Distant Friend, and Message.
I think this is the first time we've ended on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, we've ended in the middle of a 2-parter.
It felt weird. I'm not gonna lie.
I sent a message into the chat just being like, I just want to double check. We're definitely ending on episode 11, right?
I was like, I know exactly where you're saying that. I do think maybe with hindsight, I should have realized that, episode 11 was probably always going to be a 2-parter for like every modern Ultimate show. But
because it's the yes.
Yeah, because you got like episode 11 and 12 was like the mid-season 2-parter, and then episode 13 is the recap.
I understand. Well, we'll get by.
We'll figure out next year.
We have some stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
So first of all, just broadly, how we feel about this batch of Ultraman Arc? We still feeling kind of high-ish?
So I'll explain my experience.
Okay.
On Friday night, I was like, all right, I'm going to pace myself, try and time management. I'm going to watch 2 episodes of these and watch the other 2 tomorrow. And then 2 hours later, I had seen all 4 episodes.
I see.
So,
I understand.
I was in a place at work where I needed people to email me back. This is what always happens, is I need people to give me things so that I can do my job. And then when things don't get done at the time that they expect, they're like, well, why isn't it done? And I go, because you didn't
email me.
So I sent out 4 emails, I think, on it was Thursday. Being like, hey, I need this stuff. And then nobody got back to me, so I'm going to watch Ultraman now.
Nice. I watched these episodes last night.
I saw you posting.
Yeah, I was posting. I got to the episode where Ginza becomes a VTuber, and I was like, let's go.
Oh, I almost forgot. Also, I just want to highlight this YouTube comment that was in one of the episodes. If one of you wants to read this out loud, and then someone else wants to read the reply.
I will read the comment. I don't like Gaia, great show, but we don't have new generation Gaia and new generation Agul because I say that Blazer and Arc, amazing show. I watch Blazer and Arc, same show Gaia, but I say that Blazer is aggressive tight and Arc is scientist tight because I said I believe two Ultraman, not new generation Gaia and Agul is experiment Blazer and Arc experiment. New generation Gaia and Agul because I say that Supro, I believe I know New Generation Gaia and Agul big budget because New Generation Gaia is big budget Blazer and Arc small budget.
Then shoutouts to the reply, what are you talking about?
I can almost decipher what he's talking about too.
Okay?
A little bit, because I think what he's saying is like because they did like the spiritual successors to Tiga and Dinah, but they didn't do one for Gaia.
I see.
And instead made it Blazer. And the presumption is because like Gaia was kind of a big budget show that like they have to go bigger for like a successor to Gaia.
Okay, but can you explain? Can someone please explain to me what scientist type means? I'm dying trying to figure that part out.
I can somewhat.
That's Shah thinking about Nanai's pussy.
This is my last podcast. You were right.
Tomino has to think about that kind of thing. The man said so.
The two genders are aggressive type and scientist type.
Yes.
Anyways, this is a roundabout way to think. I think we're still like an arc. We're having a good time.
Yeah,
we're having a good time.
I was thinking to myself yesterday that like I don't know if we probably still like the Blazer guys more on the whole, but I do wonder if by the end of the show, for Red specifically, Arc will get over just by the sheer power of Shu Ishido specifically.
It's really good. The bit in the fourth episode, the penultimate episode, where he's like, we have to find a way to communicate with this creature, and he goes to visit the prisoner alien, and I was like, he's going to utilize prisoners in his investigations. Give it to
I'm watching The Prisoner.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Good show.
That's a classic.
Yeah. More of that in months from now when I've actually done it.
Yeah, shit. But yeah, so we got 4 episodes here. We got let me have a look at these again. So we got a Canagon episode, which obviously instant,
Yeah, I felt like as I was watching this one, I was like, oh, we're all gonna love this one.
Yeah.
And then we got a Rin episode, and then we have an episode about Yuma's old friend who was a loner, and he's like talking to like some alien on a faraway planet.
Amateur radio episode, which is apparently now a genre of Ultraman.
Yeah. And then we've got Message, which is the cliffhanger one. A robot shows up. I like this robot, by the way.
It's a good one.
And saves a child, and seems to be kind of dangerous, and so there's some inter branch rivalry between Skip and GDF over what to do about this.
There's the wall between them.
The wall between them that Ishido just was like, well, there's a what? Is there? I didn't know about that. No one told me that. I suppose we should start roughly
in order.
Canagon. So we got Canagon is like a streamer, like an AI streamer.
It's like AR, I think is a good term for it.
Neurosama.
I feel like at least at the beginning of the episode, my assumption was you could only see Canagon on your phone.
Yes, you can only see Canagon on your phone.
It isn't until the end of the episode where maybe it just comes out of the virtual world.
Mm-hmm. And Canagon is like a creation. It's an artificial being. As AI, as in the old style, and the idea is like a supplement.
AI in the old style, but also for Bitcoin mining.
Yes, because there is there's something called HoshiPay. It's an app. It's this was one woman's passion project to try to revitalize the region. but it goes badly because she explains it's like, well, everyone keeps sending Kanagon red super chats, and Kanagon doesn't understand that money is to be spent and used for things. Kanagon doesn't need anything, so that's just a hole into which everyone is throwing money.
Yeah, it's the episode where kids learn about capitalism.
Yeah, if only Kanagon was some kind of pirate who could employ various like Japanese animators to create incredible music videos. But it's unfortunately he's just Kanagon. He can't do anything about that. So yeah, we've got some fun little streaming episode, and we get Ishido and Yuma in on the streaming as Alpha and Omega, not respectively. Yuma is Alpha. This is we have to be Ultraman Arc making this very clear. Yuma Alpha, Ishido Omega. Do with that information what you will.
With cat ears too, so you can really go all in with the Omegaverse stuff if you want.
Absolutely. I posted a picture of cat ears Ishido in his suit, and I was like, this is how I feel scrolling Blue Sky at work. And then like immediately afterwards he was like, I'm Omega, and I was like, I've been had. I've been owned.
I was wondering what that was referring to. It is funny that he's like, I'm only down to 3 cups of coffee because of like the budgetary restrictions.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe we can make some money if we like give classified kaiju details on stream.
Yes, he has completely fucking lost his mind.
Shoutouts to Yuma being like, I can't. There's no way for me to save money. It's literally impossible. I need to buy all these things.
I'm not being frivolous. I really need all this stuff.
There's like groceries, laundry. Like it's like literally.
Maybe he'd save money on laundry if he had a washing machine that was a girlfriend.
True.
Yeah. The fight in this episode's good.
Yeah, so
it's creative.
So the Ultraman Arc gets sent into the digital world.
Yeah, the transition to the digital world is like a callback to Gridman. Also, the way they do.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Which is fun.
I'm sat here like, well, naturally, this is we're going Digimon mode. Going into the digital world, and then Yuppie also gets sent there, and is kind of useless. And we have to like Kanagon's like wrecking.
Arc gets to ride Yuppie like a scooter, and then Yuppie gets kicked out, and then Arc eats shit.
Yeah, cartoon shenanigans.
It's really good.
It's truly Wile E. Coyote mode. Oh, my throat. Excuse me. But yeah, this episode's just, mostly just, this is just funny. This is just a comic relief episode.
Yeah, we even get like the classic when Kanagon gets like quote unquote defeated with like the antivirus thing. It does the explosion from the end of the rocketing from the end of the Ultra Q episode.
Oh, I didn't even put that together. That's
because it rockets away. Yeah, right. True. That's good.
I want to say in the English dub they pronounce it Kanegon, which like made me feel like my life was a lie.
I mean that is how it's pronounced, but also you don't have to go that hard on it.
I don't think that's how it's pronounced.
Well, no, because it's all. It'll be Kanegon, but like it'll be subtle. It won't be like own. It'll be.
Well, I guess I'm not sure like if it's like. That's how it's like alliterated in like Japanese. I'll go with that.
Well, it won't be Kanagon because it's like they don't have that.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
It's just that their O sound. It doesn't have to. You don't have to go all in on it. You can go kind of soft. Soft owning.
Yeah. And then. At the end of the episode, Shu also becomes Kanagon.
Yeah, that I enjoyed. Just the remembrance of like, oh yeah, This is just technically a thing anyone could turn into. It's not specifically one creature.
So long as you crave wealth, which, you know, he does because he craves coffee. And you need wealth to buy coffee.
See, what we really needed from this episode, I feel, for it to really hit home, was for Kanagan to go around and being like, I built 100 apartment complexes.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, going all in on the charitable acts.
I see.
And then make like a Lunchables ripoff with mold in it.
Yes. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.
That would work. Moldy cheese.
Kanagon gets into the insurance industry. Kaiju insurance.
Kanagon would love the insurance industry. I would buy insurance from Kanagon. They should hire Kanagon for that insurance company from Blazer.
Yeah.
Kaiju insurance, yeah.
Yeah, you should talk to that old lady.
Exactly. Because nothing is more noble than an insurance salesman.
As Blazer taught us.
Yeah, of the old style, obviously.
I think
not these newfangled ones.
I told both of you that I basically cut my insurance costs this year in half by switching providers. And when I talked to the old insurance provider agent about it, she was like, "Oh yeah, who'd you go with then? How much did you save?" And I told her, and she was like, "Yeah, that's fair." And I was expecting a counter offer. No, I was just I felt like I was being ripped off, and they knew I was being ripped off, and then they realized I discovered I was being ripped off, and they're like, "Well, we can't do shit about that. We just lost this guy. Oh well, on to the next one."
Damn.
Fuck those guys.
Fuck those guys.
So yeah, you know, with this episode obviously is also doing it's tapping into the zeitgeist.
Yeah,
it's tapping into streamer culture, VTubing as well. Although they have not. Listen, I know this is a budget. This is a budget show compared to Blazer, right? Clearly, I think this is a bit reserved.
Yeah.
However, what if they had gone all out and got a 2D rig?
Oh, it would have been sick
for Ishido and Yuma.
I that said, I do like that they use the fact that show was in the budget to make Shu and Yuma on a budget.
Oh, this is also true. They don't
They're
know
really
how
bad.
to do this. They're not actually. Yes, they're not hiring guys to do. I want to know who Ishido's Oshi is. I want to know who he's watching. I want to know what streamers he's watching.
He'd be a Botan guy, right?
Ooh, would he be a Botan guy? He'd like Botan. Yeah, he would.
To be honest, my expectation was he didn't actually know anything about streaming. He just heard that's what the kids were into. Despite the fact that he's 24.
I think maybe he likes a VTuber or two. I think it's Yuma that's never heard of VTubing.
I also believe Yuma has never heard of VTubing.
I think he discovers VTubing and he thinks it's a cartoon. He doesn't understand the person is real.
Yeah. He's like Northern Lion having VTubers explain to him as they're wait, so other people make the mod, they don't own the model?
Librarian of Ishido.
Librarian of Ishido. That's us going through his diary.
Yeah. Don't worry about
Okay, let's kill this kaiju.
Okay. That's true. That is what he wants to do. Are we waiting to the end of the episode to go through his diary entries, or do we get a diary entry for this episode now?
I'm gonna leave it at the end.
Okay.
Just keep it organized.
Keep it organized. I think I preferred this episode to Goodbye Rin.
I would say so.
Which was a little unremarkable to me.
What'd you say?
It's unremarkable to me, but I have one note on Goodbye Rin.
Okay,
yeah.
What is your Rin?
Okay.
Your note.
My note, I think this episode proves me right about Yuppie. This motherfucker, as soon as he sees, that guy that you maybe had feelings for turned out to be a dirtbag, don't worry, you have me, I've always cared about you, and I'm like, you motherfucker, I hate this little freak, he's a little creep, he's a little freak.
He's getting her to settle for him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I do feel like this episode feels like a better execution of the Nijigaki episode from Blazer, I think.
I think I prefer the Nijika.
Mostly because I think like I know I think the motivation and then that episode was a bit goofy, a bit.
Oh, and this one is like a very like kind of normal motivation of being like, I have like these science projects. I don't have any money, and so this is like a. And like, yeah, I like his motivation. Yeah,
it's similar to like it's similar of like we should like the kaiju are like a resource that we should look to and study more rather than exterminated.
I also I like any. Oh, go ahead.
Well, as much as like the Nijigaki guy is like going weirdo, like feels like some sort of like weird messianic eco-fascism, whereas this guy's more like pragmatic. Like, listen, I need money, and this is helpful. And I need the research, and you guys are just like fucking blowing these guys up. What the fuck?
I do like this show, and just in general when stuff deals with this, where it's like after you kill a kaiju or otherwise deal with it, there's still like scraps and bits and pieces of it lying around that should be dealt with. Like we've kind of had that all throughout the show with like the big horn from K-Day, and that played a role in things. But I just like that, too, where, a lot of the Ultraman we've seen from the show era, it's just like, well, and then it either blows up and we don't deal with it, or we fly the body out into the cosmos, never to be seen or heard from again. And it's like, yeah, there's be scientists scraping that shit off.
Or you have to transport a bomb for some reason.
Yeah. You know how there's the, like, loads of garbage in space in orbit around Earth?
Yeah. Planetes.
Like in the hit anime Planetes that we all know and love.
That we all very definitely love.
Yeah.
And they don't use a banger. Nothing.
Do you think that, yeah, it's just, do you think, how far do you think Ultraman takes those bodies? Do you think there's a bunch of corpses in orbit around Earth?
I think so. Here's the thing. I think like to get away with it, it's around Mars. It's like that'll be someone else's problem in like a couple.
Hang on. This question has been answered. There's a graveyard.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
There's a graveyard. They all go there.
It's so dark.
Yeah. But yeah, I do quite like this. I think this episode is okay, but I'm not like super high on it or anything.
Yeah, I wish I liked Rin more. Like I like her, but like I don't feel
there's nothing. Yeah,
like she has a lot going on.
It did feel like this episode was an attempt to do that, and I think it maybe got a bit there, but also maybe not as much.
Yeah,
as we would have liked.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think we just got more out of like the first Emmy and Henri episodes of Blazer, where you got like Spy Emmy versus Henri, very embarrassed about being Wisconsinite.
Yeah.
The bits that I like about this episode is first of all, I like the shoujo energy of like the final sort of like him like I don't remember anything and then walks away and like does
touches the lip.
Yeah,
it was really goofy when they did the flashback and it's like very clearly showing you the tell and I was like, oh okay, and then the next thing they do is like put a neon sign about it and have her flash back to it, and then it's like, well, I guess this is a show for children, but also
yeah.
You didn't have, it's like when in like Persona 5 something there's a line happens and then like 5 minutes later there's a flashback to the same thing. Delicious things.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Also just the reason I go to shoujo as like the vibe is because she's a high schooler rocking up to this like
university
professor and like falling in love with him. Classic stuff. Sometimes you fall in love with an adult man because boys suck. This is girl problems. If don't be the adult man in that circumstance though.
I mean, to be fair, he like was oblivious to it.
He was
also getting married.
This guy is fine. This guy's normal. This guy's okay.
Except for the black market stuff, obviously, but
the black, we can overlook a little bit of black market shenanigans. Apparently, his baby is cute. He's happily married. He's got everything. I thought this episode was. We got a return of two surprise. We got first of all, return of Noronga. I was like, yeah, sure, this is Noronga. I've seen Noronga's about. And Pagos showed up, and I was like, excuse me?
Let's go.
Yeah. I do like the bit where like the scientist guy explains just like out loud, oh yeah, like Pagos, Noronga, Gabira, and Mongula or whatever. We think they might have a common ancestor, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a reference to the fact they're all made with the same Baragon suit.
Oh, that's cool. That is cool. I like that.
I like noticed that. He's like, oh, that's clever. That's a fun little Easter egg there.
Mm-hmm.
No egg though. That was Pagos, right?
Yeah, Pagos was the egg.
Yeah.
I mean, we say egg. It was nuclear material.
Yeah. You know.
Eggs.
The main thing was the golden rainbow, which they did put in the episode.
Yeah.
They did put the golden rainbow in the episode. They should have. What they should have done was they should have cut to black and white footage when they showed the golden rainbow.
Yeah.
Just because it's funny that the identifying signifier is like, oh, the golden rainbow for this kaiju from a black and white show.
Yeah.
Do we have all that much to say about this episode? What else?
Nah. That was competent.
Nah, okay.
And I did just say, as I said, I think I prefer the execution a bit better to the Niji Higaki episode.
Mm-hmm.
Which was also funny because the episode was like ostensibly Blazer's old professor friend, but it actually became a Teruaki episode.
It did. Teruaki increasingly became like an important guy in that show, despite not really doing much.
Yeah.
The next episode of Arc that we have here today is what is it called? My Distant Friend. So there's a guy, Yuma's friend. Well, I say friend. Someone Yuma knew from middle school, who never talked to anyone, despite Yuma's efforts. And he's like he's a radio hobbyist. And he has made contact with like a distant alien. An alien lady who he's just decided, you're my first friend, and he's her last friend.
Her last friend. It's poetic.
Yeah, it rhymes. Thank you, George.
Continuing the tradition of introducing high school friends that we haven't touched base with for a long time until this episode, conveniently.
Yeah,
like Hokuto.
Yeah.
Like Hokuto. True.
Somehow I feel like Yuma did not wet his bed until he was
9. No. Ishido did. I don't know why I've decided to take that stance, but I think I have.
Yeah, Ishido wet the bed, and then Yuma was the guy eating crayons and then going, "Here, I saved you the red one."
Yeah, true.
Well, he needs a red one for the drawing the sun.
Absolutely.
True.
So this episode also has like a tangential kaiju who shows up because of noise.
And its name is fucking
Noisler.
It's called the Noisler. It's fucking ridiculous name. And he's here because of the signal from Earth heading out to that distant dying planet. And he's like, I'm here to eat, yum, yum, yum. I'm here to eat this signal. And arrives, and the Ultraman Arc has to get like a bunch of the information about how to beat Noisler from the rest of the team by just kind of listening in to them.
Yeah, like a ring just says something, and then like the turnover and Arc's like listening to them.
And nods like, yes. Heads off, and because we've got this before any of that, we got Yuma turns up at the apartment for his not buddy, his not friend, to be like, you have to turn off the signal right now because it's attracting a kaiju. And he's like, no, I'm talking to Fio. And Fio's like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die soon. Oh, this is
Yeah,
the
because
last message I'm sending you.
Because
casual guy is like a NEET, and he's like, "Damn, Earth's boring. I want to go to this alien planet." And Theo eventually is like, "Nah, this planet's like dead from overpollution. We got no energy left, so I'm like the last one alive, and I'm gonna die soon and not be able to radio." Rip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sucks to be Theo.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe that none of that's true, and Theo's like, I have to break off connections with this guy.
I was wondering, like, I
can't let him down that much.
I had that vibe this entire time of like, I've met these people before, the people that get way too attached to someone they meet on Omegle, and it's like, you need to not do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that definitely is true of this guy, but like the way the episode is set up, and then, like, presuming that there isn't a follow up to this, I do just assume that, like,
oh yeah, I'm assuming it's true because
But this is not real speculation. I'm just like I'm imagining the world where Theo's like, oh, okay, thank God I got rid of that guy.
I do feel like this episode gets a little. I don't know if this one fully works for me with what it's going for. I feel like them fighting, then her going, actually, I'm gonna die soon anyways. I just wanted a friend one last time. Haha, bye. I don't know. Because at the same time, I feel like the other obvious thing to do with this is, Theo isn't who she first appears to be, and was like catfishing him and is actually an alien about to invade Earth or something like that. I don't know if I would have cared for that either. But
that would have been worse, I think.
Yeah,
like I feel like there's just like too much of what Showa already has.
Yeah.
This one I like think is like more interesting that like the kaiju is incidental to the radio plot.
That I think that's part of the reason though why I'm just like I don't know. Something about this it just felt like it was too much stuff that didn't really fit together for me.
The threat is a kaiju that comes because of something unrelated to the kaiju. It's just like, the kaiju is brought by the thing, but like getting rid of the kaiju doesn't resolve the plot. It's just like, well, this is our fight, and he's let him go, and he's bye bye.
We have kaiju fight to do.
Yeah.
I do at least like the not pulling the punches, and like, yeah, she's just dead. Rip.
She is just dead. Rip. Goodbye.
Like Kazuo just like has a fucking emotional breakdown.
It was it's messy crying. It's like leaking out of the nose crying. I didn't, he just did that on command. That's pretty cool. That's pretty good. Now, we watched these along with Mirror Man. We're going to be talking about Mirror Man after we record this. And there are a few episodes of Mirror Man about a woman shows up, gets kidnapped / dies. And, then I watch this episode and I go, classic stuff. And then I'm like, is it classic for this show? I don't think it is. I think I've been conflating that with Mirror Man.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have as much damsel stuff, I think, in Ultraman.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I feel like Mother of Ultra has had a better hit rate than Father of Ultra.
Father of Ultra died. Mother of Ultra is fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like at the kind of end, like, he's like starting to like open up and like get outside more and talk to Yuma.
Mm-hmm. I like his final scene with Yuma at the end. I think it's pretty good.
I like he like sort of says like a thank you out loud, and I like that there's like an ambiguity there if he's like saying it out into space towards Theo or like towards Yuma.
I do like that moment. Sorry, I feel like I cut you off. What were you gonna?
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's like the way he says thank you is like in a sort of like a out loud way. It kind of feels like it's ambiguous who it's targeted toward because it could be both to Theo and Yuma at the same time. And I think I like that ambiguity.
I like the final like resolution he gets to, but I something about their relationship I just feel like is not. It felt off to me, or like I don't know. I guess also too, I'm coming from this is like I think a lot about the nature of internet friendships and relationships. Which I'm sure you two are also coming from a similar place, and like none of
that's how we know each other.
Yeah, exactly. But like none of their chemistry or like how they met, I felt like really hit for me in that way, where it felt like it was talking about like kind of that like long distance like companionship sort of thing. It just felt like I don't know. Maybe it's because we spent so little time with it.
Yeah,
too.
it's like this single episode, and I think it's just like maybe also the topics to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh, what's your plan?
Because you had to get the plot across. You had to like have them kind of talk to like ask each other. You can't just have them talking about fucking nothing bullshit.
Yeah.
To show off like chemistry or anything, it has to be like asking about what's your planet like, what's happening on this planet, and
stuff that feels like it'd be like within the first year of the relationship that's already passed, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And you've got to get that fucking that one little bit that they've got where he corrects her English, her Japanese.
Yeah.
That's the one. Different language.
I also think too, part of this might be also because the next episode we're about to talk about does touch on like, oh, communication is hard sometimes, and there's some work that we need to like, some elbow grease needs to be put in to make sure that we're having these important conversations and that we're understanding each other. And then
weird leaps of what the elbow grease is in like terms of like language prediction. Like,
yeah. But then, like, the kaiju here just kind of being like, oh, it eats long-range signals. I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, I kind of wish it rolled in more, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe what we kind of needed was sort of like the actual development from the initial stage to where they are in terms of like how they can communicate with each other. Because we do go from like the very first signal as a flashback to like present day, and he goes, "Wow, yeah, your Japanese has come on so well." Which also is like the conveniences of making the show. She learned Japanese. He didn't have to learn anything about her language.
Yeah,
he didn't have to learn shit. He's busy.
It is kind of funny that he's just like, it's strange that we're like talking to each other like over like light years and you're able to like talk in real time. Is that because of ancient is it because of your like super technology? And she's like, yeah, to be honest, I don't fucking know why either. And then I feel like it's like I don't think a reason's given. Maybe it's implied to be Noisler, but like I have no idea.
It's the Noisler. The Noisler did it.
The Noisler sounds like that thing that like your parents would make up to tell you to shut the fuck up at 10 p.m. If you don't turn that goddamn game off, the Noisler's going to get you. Yeah.
My parents didn't have to invent a Noisler. It's just, my mum's going to get me.
Yeah.
she's mad. I don't have much else to say necessarily.
This one bummed me out the most because I was just like, oh, I like
going to die at the end of this episode, just like in this episode. It reminded you.
True.
Of you.
So true. I'm dying of pollution right now. No, but because like the premise really like got to me. I was like, oh, cool, we're doing something like interesting here. And then as it went on, I was like, I don't really like how this one went at all, honestly. Mm-hmm. I do like that last scene where they're talking in the night, but yeah, I think this one kind of let me down compared to the other three a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's still not bad, I would say. Like, it's perfectly competent television, but
yeah.
You know what I want out of my television? Competent.
Yeah. But, you know...
Not like Ultraman Ace.
You could always do better.
You can always do better.
You can always do better.
Like putting fucking Gundam Reborns in your television show.
Let's talk about episode 11, Message.
I like how this is this EVS here. Jumping the gun a bit, but I like how this guy is like not the only kaiju we got in this stuff we watched this week that has like a grappling hook thing that incapacitates the hero.
True.
Yeah.
True. We got grappling hook kaijus all over the place in fucking Mirror Man. So this episode is about this kaiju attack. There is evacuation order. There's a lot.
It was Gubera, who was also from
Gubera,
from the feminist episode of Ultraman.
Yes. So there is a large focus on like the civilian like evacuation in this episode. Lot of like action from like the perspective of a civilian on like kaiju fights. And like these two kids in particular wind up at an evacuation station. And then one of them is like, "Oh, my hat's missing." And the older sister is like, well, "Who cares about your fucking hat?" No, that's not what she says. She says, "I'll go get your hat." And she goes into danger to get her hat, and the little brother also goes to get the hat with her. And she's like, "Why would you follow me?"
This is why roller coasters have kill counts, by the way. It's always someone's fucking hat.
They should confiscate hats on roller coasters.
This is why I don't wear hats.
We should tot up the roller coaster kill count. We should figure out what the most lethal roller coaster is.
I'm sure that's an easily Googleable answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Kai, give us shows up and makes a little sound, a little melody, and says "give us" at the same time. And
I don't know if I know you that well yet, big robot man, but
shut up. Fucking. And then give us gets into a fight with the kaiju and with Arc, and Arc, it doesn't go well for Arc, and then give us
Arc just takes a bullet for the kid, and he transforms, then Yuma eats shit on the pavement.
True. And then we've got give us protects the children at the last second from the kaiju, and Yuma's like, "Wait, perhaps it's a good guy." And then the rest of the episode is give us is just a statue, basically just standing around making little noises.
Sometimes does a little laser light show, and the news has to be like, "We don't know what that does. You should stay away from that." I like that detail.
Yeah. We've all seen Independence Day.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, we should watch Independence Day. Is a bad movie. It's great. You should watch it.
Yeah.
Independence Day Detour Quarry coming soon.
No. It's basically an American.
I can imagine exactly how it goes.
But it's not kaijus. It's just Anyway.
Oh, it's Ultra Seven.
Then we go back at Skip. We're all we gotta we don't know that it's a bad guy. We gotta communicate with it. It might be a good guy. And then Ishido's like, "Yes, absolutely." And then he gets a call from his boss, and he goes, maybe not actually. Maybe the GDF has decided that no, it's a bad guy.
First he does go off to visit Krako in jail.
He goes to visit the alien in jail, presumably enlists him in the project of trying to communicate with Give Us. Skip.
If you cooperate, we'll let you out earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Skip, this will really help your crime coefficient. Skip is trying to figure out how, there's this theory of how many suns you have around your planet determines the linguistic model.
This is peak Ishinotani. I love it.
It's so This is pure Ishinotani science.
I get the logic, but also it's just ridiculous.
And then Yuppie's like, "What about zero suns? We've heard of planets with zero suns." And we run that through the machine, and then we get out. We know what "give us" means, and they translate. And it's asking, "Do you have my enemy?" Or something like that. Do you have enemy? Do you have my enemy? Something along those lines. And Yuma's like, "Oh no, it wants to hurt us." And I'm like, "No, it doesn't. This is a translation thing. We'll figure this out next episode."
Yeah.
Which we did not watch for this week. We will watch for next time.
Yeah. I'll figure out the math for next year.
This robot owns.
It's so
this is a good robot.
Yeah. Yes.
I love that it has two faces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The introduction where it saves the kids, really good.
Yes.
It's just a cool, big robot guy.
Absolutely. It's got this big kind of its left hand is this blade thing, and then it's got a claw for its right hand.
It sends out an Ultraman-esque laser buzzsaw.
Mm-hmm. We've got the big shoulder things on its back that's kind of I don't know. but this is good. Big fan of this robot.
There's something just powerful about it just standing there, too. Like, not just doing anything, just standing there. Through the day, through the night.
It chills, it keeps asking its questions. Presumably there's someone in there. I think that's probably true.
Oh, I assumed this was a big steel man.
This might be a big steel man.
We'll see.
We'll have to find
in like a month.
Find out. True.
They might be conjoined twins. There are two faces.
Mm-hmm. I like the emotional content of this episode is Yuma is talking to Ishido like, yeah, so that whole wall between the GDF and Skip, I guess it doesn't really exist that much between us, does it? And Ishido's like, what wall? I don't know what you're talking about. We're just friends. We're just buddies. Why are you talking about walls? And by the end of the episode, because we have to go through this phase where Ishido's like, this might be an enemy, but it might not be. So we have to do investigation to figure out. And then, our investigation concluded, he's like, GDF has said that this thing's got to go. And Yuma hits him with the, I guess you are just a GDF guy.
It's so good.
It's like, oh yeah, I forgot you were a cop.
Yeah, Ishido's like, well, I have to go kill myself now. My life is over. For some reason, so Yuma doesn't like me, and for some reason that makes me feel like everything's over.
And then Ben's like, Yuma, maybe you should just take a day off, go on holiday for a bit.
You should chill a little. Maybe don't say that to Ishido. It does seem like that does fuck him up a little bit.
And then we get the shot of like at the end of the episode, Yuma just like stares at Gives a bit, sort of like confused and like unsure, like mess of emotions. And then like some guys in the GDF are like, "Hey, get out of here! It's not safe."
I love that little detail of like they treat him like everyone else, sort of thing. I mean,
at the end of the day, Skip is civilians. Get out of here.
I mean, he isn't in a uniform either, but
yeah.
It's still like the effect is still the same.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I like this episode. But there's less to talk about than maybe there will be once we've seen the rest of it.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this is going to be, we should have just asked the alien guy who knew the language
to translate.
To translate instead of relying on an app.
Yeah, he's going to be like, what, you ran it through Google Translate and you just trusted that? The fuck?
More reason to hate UP.
More reason to hate you.
He goes into like a traumatic shock to encode this message, by the way. We skipped over that, but
yeah, he does. Yeah. He does. It nearly kills him.
Good.
So yeah, UP, weird little freak. Two guys instead of one guy.
I forgot if it was implied that the Rin's senpai built UP, or if I forgot if maybe Rin built UP. Because they had the conversation.
She has a special connection with UP. UP wants it to be specialer.
Yeah. Because when they meet for the first time, the professor guy is like, "Oh yeah, Skip wants me to build a robot for them. That's good for going to like tough places."
He might have built. He's the surrogate.
But also,
maybe UP's the surrogate senpai.
But I forget if because I maybe Rin also did, because she also mentioned that she's getting into like engineering and stuff like that. So
UP might be a victim of all this. UP might have inherited the will of its creators. Poor UP. UP's been entangled in human drama that it didn't ask for. All it wants is to be two weird guys.
I mean, hey, we shouldn't discriminate against plural people.
True.
The Spy Kids, do you think God stays in heaven because he too lives in fear of what he's created, but it's about UP?
It's about UP. I do not live in fear of UP. I don't. UP is not. Listen, UP is not Earth Garon. Never will be. But I'm not. I do not live in hatred or fear of UP. Do we have anything more to say about this episode until we move on to some of the more important shit?
I got nothing.
I just like the bit in the Canagon episode where, like, when she was like, maybe we could talk about kaiju details on stream, and he was like, isn't that like classified info? And then Shu's immediate answer is, I'm gonna go talk to Ben to see if we can get official clearance. And he's like, you'd have to do paperwork. It's one thing if you're doing it as a hobby, but you know.
Okay, I think we're done. We're at like 50 minutes or something.
Yeah, I mean, we did a decent job. Plus, we went through like each episode bit by bit. So
yeah.
I think it's a good way to do it.
First of all, color timers.
Yeah, so let me do the trivia stuff, and then I'll do the color timers.
Oh, okay.
Directors
No, never mind. Continue.
Yeah, the directors: Tomonobu Koshi on episode 8, Hiroaki Yasuo on episode 9 and 10, Masayoshi Takesu for episode 11. For the writers, Yurio Yoshigami in episode 8, Toshizu Nemoto episode 9, Jinichiro Ashiki episode 10, Masaya Honda episode 11. For some reason, only episodes 9 and 10 have special effects directors, which is Naoki Ishido.
Okay.
I don't have any details on the kaiju stuff.
Does this mean Canagon was real?
Yes.
Okay.
They found him.
Yeah.
They found Canagon.
Yeah. No deals on the kaiju because only one kaiju in this batch was actually new. And that was in the two-parters, so we'll get to it next time.
Noislers from something else?
Apparently. I do wonder how much me looking at trivia stuff for modern shows does mean we get owned by, this guy's new or old.
Maybe a little bit.
I'm genuinely shocked Noisler wasn't something where they were like, need a signal-based thing. The Noisler.
Yeah. Well, I won't say where it's from either way, so.
Okay.
I'll still leave that a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
But it defines more additional episode trivia. So scrolling back to last time, episode 7, there was a quote from the director of like the tiger explosion episode.
Okay.
He said on Twitter, "It is natural to have differences in values. Personally, I believe that coexistence means finding points of compromise. Perspectives of a bear that has come into the city and those of the people are different things. Perspective of a bear that has come into the city and those of people are definitely different. I always think the answer is to never stop thinking."
Never stop thinking.
Never stop thinking.
Never stop.
With episode 8, obviously, I mentioned the Gridman references. The full list of references are documented on the wiki. Apparently, the vibes of the digital world set are explicitly based on bastardized Hollywood Japan.
That's
good.
And in the writing of the episode, Yoshigami apparently did research not only by like watching the Canagon Ultra Q episode, but also he said, "I'm going to read Taro Naruto's book and go to his museum."
Oh,
so that's fun.
It's 300 pages of I fucking hate that dinosaur tank.
Yeah. I already mentioned that like the 4 kaiju, Naranga, Pagos, Magular, and Gabara. They have the suit reference from episode 9.
Mm-hmm.
The professor, which you didn't mention my name, Satoru, Satoru was his name. Apparently, the baby photo he used is Naoki Uchida's daughter, so the special effects director.
We didn't even see it.
We did?
I didn't see his baby. Maybe I just didn't see it, but noticed fast enough.
Yeah. Apparently, Uchida had pitched as early as Ultraman Z an episode that was like, I really want an episode where Naranga and Pagos are in the same episode, but they didn't make it at the time.
Those are his.
And so they got to make it this time. He's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, we are definitely in the era of like nerds who grew up with this shit when they were like babies, finally getting to make the thing that they've always wanted to make.
Imagine if Pagos was your favorite guy. I don't get that.
I don't either. I don't judge. There could be cool Pagos upon us in like a decade or so. That we
cool Pagos upon ye. Whoa. Cool.
Eminem lobbing it at you. And then episode 10, apparently, like Super Rad Productions got radio prop support from the radio equipment company Incom Inc.
Okay. Cool.
And then color timers.
All right.
Episode 8, 6 minutes, 7 seconds. Episode 9, 3 minutes, 11 seconds. Episode 10, 3 minutes, 42 seconds. Episode 11, 5 minutes, 47 seconds. Also, worth noting, I do like the restraint that the first episode had, of the last episode had, where it's just like, oh, the Ultraman fight's in the first half of the episode, and then it's just not in the second half at all.
Yeah. Two-parters let you do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we get a two-parter where there's no Ultraman at all in one of the episodes.
Maybe.
Definitely
not in the show era.
Do we have any other little things?
Do you want more of Shu's diary?
I would love more of Shu's diary.
Did you ever go back and like read the full things?
I have frankly been very, very, very busy.
Yeah, that's fair. It'll always be there for you.
It will.
Some of these are interesting because I think it complicates maybe some of the stuff on the screen. But anyway, episode 8. Shu is called into GDF HQ for hearing over his live streams, where he suffers embarrassment after being forced to watch all of his videos with his boss standing next to him.
Let's go!
This is the greatest thing that's ever happened.
He's ordered to stop streaming, though he imagines things would have been worse if the hearing was run by someone other than his superior, who apparently has a name, but I've been withholding it up until now.
Okay.
He reflects on how he may have gotten a bit of a hand chasing the numbers, and comes to the conclusion that people's mental health is better where the economy is better.
True. People are happier when they have things, when they're not struggling.
He also mentioned that Kanagawa is just as popular as ever now that he redistributes wealth instead of hoarding it, and he mentioned that there is an intellectual debate over whether virtual kaiju actually count as kaiju and should be subject to GDF jurisdiction.
I see.
He then reminisces about how fun it was to run a YouTube channel with Yuma, and does a will he won't be over whether he should recommend Yuma his favorite mystery novel.
His favorite what?
His favorite mystery novel.
Oh. Ooh, what's his favorite mystery novel, I wonder?
He drops the name. It might be a fictional one, but I'm not sure. I can look at it.
Yeah. It might be a real one.
The context was specifically, he was like, yeah, I don't know if you and I even have hobbies, but I guess I also read mystery novels, so maybe I should recommend him one. But then he was like, also, maybe it'd be weird if I did that. It says Detective Bon Hebon.
Okay, I've never heard of this.
Which might be, is that a real thing, or is it a fake thing? It's a fake thing.
It's a fake thing. Oh, well. It's too much to ask for him to be like...
It does,
be like, oh, my favorite mystery novel is like, I don't know, the Honjin murders.
Yeah.
The Inugami curse.
Yeah.
Google does recommend to you, I search for it though, Bon Cop, Bad Cop, which is a 2006 Canadian black comedy thriller buddy cop film.
Okay.
About an Ontarian and Quebecois police officer.
Okay.
I've heard of that movie before. Anyway.
I can't wait to read Shu Ishido's favorite mystery novel, Umineko When They Cry.
Episode 9. Shu talks about how Satoru Yamagami is absolutely getting the slammer, and he thinks his plans were a bad idea.
Okay.
He also feels responsible for checking on Rin's well-being given the circumstances, which is a fair amount of emotional maturity for someone who proceeds to write about his despair or wanting to cheer her up with coffee when she's a tea person.
Nice.
He recaps the kaiju investigation as well as the Ultraman fight from the episode and mentions how seeing Arc land against the sunset took his breath away.
This fucking guy.
He wonders, he's just imagining a sorrowful expression as he's noticed on Arc's face a lot of different times.
I'm thinking about the Precure episode where a boy a boy who's only around for one episode asks Nagisa out on a date, goes on it because he's telling her how cool she is, and then she has to turn into Cure Black to save him, and then like while he's like unconscious, he kind of wakes up a little bit, sees Cure Black, and is like, "I'm sorry, Nagisa, I have to break up with you. I've fallen in love with someone else. I've fallen in love with Cure Black."
That reminded me of a Mega Ranger episode, where there's like a quiet guy and like his hang along who speaks for him.
Okay.
And they blackmail the Pink Ranger to go on a date with him. And she thinks that she has proof of her being a Mega Ranger, but it's actually like something like ridiculous, like her diary or something.
Okay.
And it's a goofy episode that, for whatever reason, was also adapted directly into a Power Rangers in Space episode.
Nice.
It's goofy. Episode 10.
Mm-hmm.
She uses the subject of Space Kaiju to go on a tangent of just what is Ultraman anyway, and did he actually take Rin's advice?
That's a fair question.
He questions if someday humans and Ultraman can truly understand each other, but feels like this will be necessary to overcome some sort of unspecified great challenge, which is not something he actually knows anything about, as more gut feeling he has as a character within a narrative.
Nice.
She mentions that Kazuo cooperated with an organization called the Space Science Division that documented all of his info on Fio's home planet. He mentions that Kazuo has been able to move forward and become better friends with Yuma, and it's at this point she realizes he doesn't have any friends, but he's definitely not lonely, especially because he has coffee.
Oh my god. Okay.
On that note,
we have to get you off the coffee. This is bad.
On that note, she was distraught that the instant coffee Kazuo offered Yuma during the episode turned Yuma off of coffee entirely, and he plots to introduce Yuma to the real shit so you'll understand one day.
Oh my
god. He was like, yeah, Yuma had the courtesy, and then it was bad, so we didn't like it.
Damn.
But I have to make him understand. Episode 11. She talks about all the complaints they had to answer for the whole night, because we forgot to mention that Skip's job at the end of the episode is to like take people's phone calls to complain.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone has to take shifts between doing that and decoding the message. He can't take a nap right now, so he's writing a diary instead. He's thinking about the last thing Yuma said, and it's like, damn, it really is the little things that sting most. He also thinks Man made the call sending Yuma home because he kind of recognized in the moment that Yuma probably felt really awkward immediately, but he can't really say anything to take it back in that moment. And then he remembers how fun it was to do like the van chase with Yuma and how exciting it was. It was like, damn, it's like a movie, which made the Yuma said hurt more.
Jesus Christ.
Though he does think, like, yeah, maybe there is a wall between Skip and the GDF, and also he himself has a wall between him and the rest of the team because of his big secret that he won't reveal yet.
Oh my fucking god.
He has a big secret that he won't reveal?
Yeah.
What kind of big secret could it be?
Well, I mean, we remember episode 2, right? I'm assuming it has to do with that.
That he's a spy. He's a spy from the GDF. Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose that is a big secret.
That is a pretty big secret.
And then he kind of just ends off like, yeah, give us just some bad vibes with those lasers. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, fair play. I would see the lasers and I'd be like, uh-oh. Now hang on.
Yeah.
My first thought would be, you're aiming. You're about to fire something.
I mean, my first thought would be they're scanning because that's what they're doing. And I feel like this way because I remember that the opening episode of Beast Wars features the Transformers doing that scanning laser shit to animals to become animals.
I see.
Have I ever mentioned that in Canada, for whatever reason, they call Beast Wars Beasties?
No.
Yeah.
It's just called Beasties?
It's called Beasties here.
Oh.
Transformers Beasties?
Yes.
That's pretty fun.
So when you listen to the theme song, they go, Beasties!
Oh.
It's funny.
I've never heard the Beast Wars theme in my life.
Neither have I. I was not a Transformers child.
I mean, I wasn't either, but like Beast Wars was just like a show that was on TV, and because it was like, you're a kid in the 90s and there's a show that's a serialized show that you're watching for the first time, it's like, damn, open my third eye of what a show could be.
Yeah.
And so it's like a show that I didn't have cable a lot. I was on and off as a kid, so I didn't always get a chance to watch it. But it was a show was like, if I'm at my grandparents' house and they have cable, I'm going to like watch it when I can, basically.
Yeah. I'm frequently in a position where I'm thinking about like someone brings up like a cartoon from ages ago, and I'm like, it's entirely possible that I just never saw that because it never aired here. I don't know anything about these.
My smart TV has a dedicated Yu-Gi-Oh channel.
Oh hell yeah!
I've learned. It's so fucking weird. Like, and it's just like, oh yeah, here's like 2 episodes of the original series, a couple episodes of GX, and then like 5. Like, it just is like all the anime, and like it alternates.
Next week on the main show, I'm gonna have to talk about 5Ds.
Damn.
I unfortunately have finished a bunch of stuff in the past 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to get to that at some point.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We are done talking about Ultraman.
Yeah.
We are finished. Do we have any emails?
Oh yeah, we do have a Blazer. Not Arc. Fuck, I did the same thing Brad did before recording. Yeah, got an email from. So I just want to put on record. Keep us honest. In the past little bit, we got 2 emails for the main show, which we'll have to get to next week.
That is okay.
But just so you know, in case I know you are listening to this, I have got the email. Just know, obviously, we haven't got to it because the show hasn't been up. Anyway, got an Arc email from Mothra Fanboy.
Hello, Mothra Fanboy.
Hello.
This batch of Arc was pretty great. It started off pretty rocky with Internet Canagon, and usually I like Goofy episodes, but when I saw what they did to my boy Shu, I knew it was a turn for the worse. I think you have different opinions from us.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
VTuber Shu. It's too good.
Nice to see the return of Canagon. However, episode 9, Goodbye Rain, was a course correction, as it was an incredible story, finally giving her own episode. It was a great human drama, and it was probably my favorite of this batch. Next up, To My Distant Friend. This was another banger of an episode. It was a great concept as well executed with a cool kaiju as well. Lastly, message. This is a good first 2-parter with a cool idea. I don't have much to say about this episode. I have much more to say about episode 2, the 12, the second part. Can't wait for you to cover it. Question. If we do get the golden match of the century, Jun versus Pegula versus Dynamite Joe, who would referee the match?
This is Dynamite Joe?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the Peter episode.
Okay. So, this is rock, paper, scissors. Dynamite Joe, as someone who does boxing, kills Jun. Like, just dead. But Dynamite Joe is a man. So he gets killed by the kaiju Pegula. And Jun
is an anti-kaiju freak of nature.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Capable of fighting kaiju. Jun beats Pegula. It's rock, paper, scissors. This is the basis of my new Fire Emblem clone for Ultraman. We're making an SRPG.
Yeah.
As Frank Herbert once said, in politics, the tripod is the most unstable of all structures.
I think Kongming would disagree.
Kongming disagrees. Kongming. I don't know how correct he was, but he disagrees.
Truly, the most Ultra Q coded sentence is just like putting Frank Herbert against Kongming.
Bro, God, dinner party with Kongming and Frank Herbert. Only bringing up gay stuff halfway through the meal, and then see how that goes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. They said like Pigmon and his salad fingers would make a good referee for the fight.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just. Yeah. Okay. So. I just checked. Our subject sent an email. It was titled about Mirrorman, but they did No, it's Mirror Arc Man. So yeah, they have a paragraph about Arc, which I'll just go over quickly. And then
Okay.
So Arc continues to be radical. We've got bits of everything: comedy, drama, and spectacle, all wrapped up in one glorious package. If it keeps like this, it may very well overtake Kaiga as my new favorite new gen show. I don't have too much else more to specifically say, but it bears repeating that for now, the second new show you covered in this podcast row, you've been extremely lucky. There's been no major callback moments / characters you haven't encountered that, which is just like, how did it happen? Which, you know.
We just timed everything perfectly. We had everything planned out 10 years ago. Before we met.
Mm-hmm.
And we infiltrated Subaraya. We have a guy on the inside.
Yeah. And yeah, I think, let me just double check. Yeah, okay. The other email is just about the other email we have is just about Mirror Man, so I'll leave that. It does touch on Arc a bit, but in a way that isn't like about the episodes.
All right.
Thank you,
so
everyone, for your emails.
So, yeah, thank you, Mothra Fanboy and Sugar Kickstarter for the emails, and we'll get to the other emails in a second when we do Mirror Man.
Yes. If you can follow us, the show, if you want to follow... Let me try that sentence again. If you want to follow the show on Twitter /Blue Sky, you can do that at Ultra_Q on Twitter. That is at Ultra_QUEUE. And on Blue Sky, it is at UltraQ. That is Ultra QUEUE. No underscore there.
If I was willing to shell out money for a domain name, I probably would just name the account Ultra.Q on Blue Sky. But for now, it's that. It's that. Anyway, if you want to follow me, it's at Dear Crowns on both sites. We have the email, ultraqfund@gmail.com, and the coffee is ultraqfund. Maybe one day we'll be able to subtitle stuff. Brad.
I'm B invoked everywhere. That's BEINVOKED. BE_invoked on Twitter. I'm not using that as much anymore though. Follow me on Blue Sky. It's getting better. The vibes are better, and they get better each day.
The transition is happening in real time. We are witnessing it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Join us next time. I'm not sure when we'll be doing the next one, but
we have one
announcement. It'll be announced in the main show.
Yep.
All right. Goodbye. See you next time. Done.
Bye.
Done. I'm hitting the stop button.
Big style.